It's funny how some things aren't funny anymore. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 comedy movies that could never be made today.
Hi, Betty.
A nerd. I'm not kissing a nerd.
You have to. I paid my money.
For this list, we're looking at comedies that wouldn't be made today, either in whole or in part, because they include material that's outdated or objectionable to modern audiences.
If this were a court of law, you would be cited for contempt.
Well, I would never do that in court, sir. Not that I don't have the same respect for you.
You may shut up now.
Number 10, Heathers.
My God. I can't believe it. I just killed my best friend.
A cult film, Heathers rose in status and popularity in the years after its release, eventually even becoming the basis for an off-Broadway musical and a TV series. There are some wonderful moments in this dark comedy, as well as great performances by Winona Ryder and Christian Slater that still pack a punch.
You think you're a rebel? Do you actually think you're a rebel? You're not a rebel. You're f***ing psychotic.
But Heathers opened in 1989 when mass murders in a school setting still felt like a hard-to-believe and extremely rare occurrence. Sadly, the surge in violence since then makes the film, especially the ending, a much more challenging and uncomfortable viewing experience.
Veronica, you look like hell.
Yeah, I just got back.
Number 9, The Toy.
I know what I want.
He likes the Wonder Wheel. Let's blow it up right away.
The black man.
The Toy is about the young son of an enormously wealthy man who purchases a person as his personal property, essentially his toy.
I hope you have a good explanation for this.
You said anything in the store. Well, he was in the store.
Much was altered in the journey from Paris to Hollywood, but the most notable change was the Toy going from being a white actor in the French version to black comedy icon Richard Pryor in the American remake. Perhaps at the time, Pryor felt that the story might serve as a compelling reminder of slavery in the United States.
I love you, Jack.
I love you too, Eric. But I want you to do what's right, man.
Unfortunately, any attempt at social commentary feels wholly undermined by the film's cheap comedy. The premise is quite simply way too troubling to ever get greenlit today. Number 8, Porkys. The low-budget Porkys became a massive hit in 1981, spawning 2 sequels and eventually a reboot. Teenagers today may take a look at it and just wonder what their parents and grandparents were thinking.
You're kidding.
It's a 10-gallon condom.
It looks like King Kong's rubber. What's it called? Kiwi. You like it? Turner.
The lowbrow humor is one thing, but there are many elements that make it doubtful the film could or would be made today. Chief among these is a scene, once considered a high point at the time, in which our young protagonists use a peephole to spy on girls showering.
Freak! You filthy little pervert, I can hear you in there.
The film's sexist stereotyping of the female coach, not to mention the lengths she'll go to in order to catch the boys, are equally unpalatable.
Do not attempt to apprehend this prick, as it is armed and dangerous.
Number 7, 16 Candles. Molly Ringwald is incredible as Sam, and there are many on-point moments in 16 Candles.
Let's not hold our breath.
But unfortunately, it also has some fatal flaws. Hopefully, no film would ever get made today with an Asian caricature like Long Duck Dong.
What's happening, hot stuff?
Yeah, his name alone is now enough to make anyone cringe. The subplot, which culminates in Ted and friends selling the chance for other boys to see Sam's underwear, is also problematic. But more so is the specter of date rape which hangs over Ted, and an obviously drunk Carolyn.
You guys know what you're doing here or what? All right, just a minute. How does this look? Very nice.
Number 6, White Chicks. Throughout the history of the entertainment industry, there have been countless examples of white performers donning blackface, or adopting insulting black stereotypes for laughs. As such, with 2 black men in whiteface, White Chicks could be seen as payback.
You sure this is gonna work? Just trust me. Follow my lead.
But even if a studio decided to do whiteface today, the film's attitudes towards women would make it a non-starter.
Hi, I'm Cellulite Sally. Look at my huge badonkey. Oh, and don't forget about me. I'm Back Fat Betty. Now, who could have said that? Oh yeah, it's Tina the Talking Chummy.
White Chicks revels in female stereotypes. Body image issues and objectification are all played for comedic effect.
sniffing chicks' underwear, man. It's big. It's what? They're guys, aren't they?
Wow. You really are disgusting.
Sure, the intention may be satirical, but it would have to be played at a much higher level to work today. Number 5. Monty Python's Life of Brian. With their off-the-wall sensibility, the Monty Python comedy troupe took on many sacred cows over the years.
By virtue of the authority vested in me. Oh, lay off, we haven't started yet. Come on, who's through that?
With Life of Brian, which focused on a neighbor of Jesus's who's mistaken for the Messiah, they did so quite literally.
Hail, Messiah! I'm not the Messiah! I say you are, Lord, and I should know I followed a few. Hail, Messiah!
Upon its release in 1979, the film received a great deal of criticism and condemnation from those who didn't think religion in general, and the Judeo-Christian tradition in particular, was a fit subject for a rude comedy. The lighthearted treatment of crucifixion was especially controversial. But the very concept behind Life of Brian might be too risky for studios to touch.
Terrific! Great! Reg has explained it all to me, and I think it's great what you're doing. Thank you, Brian. I'll never forget you.
Number 4. Revenge of the Nerds. Isn't it just hilarious when the hero of a story tries to win a girl by disguising himself as the girl's boyfriend and having sex with her? Not laughing? No one should be. It's called rape by fraud or rape by deception. Yeah, not exactly quality comedy material. And neither is surreptitiously taking nude pictures of sorority girls.
For selling pies?
They've got a line around the corner. Guys are buying 2-3 pies apiece.
There's something fishy about these pies. Come on, let's go check it out.
Obviously, Revenge of the Nerds couldn't be made now in its original form. At least one hopes not. All the aforementioned issues, paired with overt sexism throughout the film, make it uncomfortable to sit through today.
It was wonderful. He did things to me you've never done before. You're that nerd.
Number 3. Borat. In some ways, it's surprising that Borat was ever made. Deliberately provocative and taking in-your-face comedy to a new level, the film was designed to insult and mock. And it certainly worked as designed.
Give me a smile, baby. Why angry face?
Well, what you're saying is very demeaning. Do you know the word demeaning?
No.
The list of those it pokes fun at includes feminists, Arabs, Romanians, Jews, Baywatch fans, conservatives, liberals, politicians, Southerners, and Christianity. And it may even have played a role in the breakup of Pamela Anderson's marriage.
Pamela, will you marry me?
No thanks.
No, agreement not necessary.
None of this would help the project get greenlit nowadays, but the biggest obstacle may simply be the outrage the film provoked from the Arab world. No studio wants to anger a foreign market, which may strike back by preventing distribution of future films in their countries.
Thank you for watching my film. I hope you like. Dziękuję.
Number 2. Soul Man.
Congratulations, Mr. Watson, and good luck at Harvard.
Thank you, sir. I'll do my best.
At its heart, Soul Man is a well-intentioned but thoroughly misguided film that aims to reveal how white people don't understand the level of racism faced by people of color. Unfortunately, it seeks to make its point by having its entitled lead white character don blackface to pass as African American. By doing so, he wins a scholarship that would have gone to an actual black student.
Important information for this committee. I have pictures. I have proof. Mark Watson is actually white.
And though he eventually forfeits it by telling the truth, it takes way too long for him to do the right thing, and only after his double life proves too complicated. In this day and age, the use of blackface is acknowledged to be so repellent that it would make the film a total non-starter.
You look funny white.
Yeah? Well, green's my best color, but everybody stares.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some dishonorable mentions. Partners, in which gay stereotypes abound.
That's all. Keep your hands to yourself. He's mine.
The Jerk. The comedy around race hasn't aged well.
It was never easy for me. I was born a poor black child.
Weird Science. Terrorizing girls so they can be rescued.
Hands off the girls. Let's leave the girls out of this. Hands off. Said hands off!
Zapped, taking sexual photos without permission.
Well, here we are.
Maybe later, okay?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Blazing Saddles. Mel Brooks's anything for a laugh, can't be big enough style creates a level of zaniness that can be downright hypnotic.
You do. Charming. Sign right here.
But Brooks, believing basically that there's nothing that can't or shouldn't be the subject of a joke, throws all political correctness to the wind in Blazing Saddles.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Most problematic is the liberal use of the N-word in this tale of a black sheriff in the otherwise white Old West. Although, to be fair, the sheriff is the smartest guy in the Old West. Also objectionable is a joke about rape, as well as material that could anger Native Americans, the LGBTQ community, women, the Irish. No, you get the picture.
Just watch me. It's so simple, you sissy Marys.
If this script landed in a producer's office today, they couldn't get rid of it fast enough. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.